Chapter 1. The Forgotten Countenance Expanded. What if the world we think we know is only a fragment? Beneath the oceans, beyond recorded history, lie hints of entire continents lost to time. Atlantis and Lemuria. These were not just lands. They were entire worlds of advanced culture, science, and consciousness. Legends, myths, and obscure texts hint at something extraordinary. Plato describes Atlantis as a civilization older than any known to history, advanced in both technology and wisdom, suddenly disappearing beneath the waves. Similarly, Lemuria is described in the esoteric literature as a spiritual society, aligned with cosmic laws and natural energies. Evidence appears scattered: unusual geological formations, submerged ruins, ancient maps showing lands that no longer exist. Myths echo across continents, from Pacific Island lore to South American legends. Stories speak of vast floods, sudden sinkings, and survivors bearing secret wisdom. Imagine standing on a continent that existed tens of thousands of years ago. Cities built with precision, energy systems far beyond our comprehension, schools teaching humans to master both mind and matter. Imagine their libraries, now lost, containing knowledge of astronomy, medicine, and consciousness expansion. This chapter investigates how these continents may have arisen in the Earth's distant past, possible reasons for their catastrophic demise, how their knowledge could have been preserved through symbols, myths, and oral traditions. The tension is immediate. Were these civilizations destroyed accidentally by natural catastrophe, or was there an intentional concealment of their knowledge? Could remnants of their wisdom have seeded later civilizations? As the chapter closes, we confront the first mystery. The world beneath the waves may hold more than just rocks and sand. It may hold the key to knowledge humanity has forgotten. Chapter 2. The Spiritual Legacy. Not all knowledge is material. Some is consciousness itself. Lemuria and Atlantis weren't merely advanced societies. They were schools of consciousness. Their teachings encompassed not only practical knowledge, but the laws of energy, vibration, and spirit. Lemuria focused on harmony with nature. Its people could communicate telepathically, sense energy patterns, and heal using subtle vibrations. They understood cycles of the Earth, how to harness planetary energies, and how to integrate their consciousness into the larger life systems around them. They were mystics and scientists simultaneously. Atlantis, by contrast, combined high technology with spiritual insight. They used crystalline energy devices, understood planetary grids, and applied sacred geometry to manipulate matter and energy. The civilization emphasized balance, technological mastery without spiritual corruption. We explore the practical applications of this knowledge. Atlanteans allegedly created machines powered by crystal energy, possibly generating free energy. Lemurians developed sound and light-based healing methods. Both civilizations allegedly used meditation, altered states, psi-sensic abilities to access information beyond ordinary perception. The intrigue deepens when we realize this knowledge may have been deliberately hidden. Survivors might have carried fragments into secret schools, or encoded wisdom into myths, symbols, and architecture. leaving clues for future generations. The chapter challenges our modern assumptions. What if ancient civilizations mastered levels of consciousness we have yet to rediscover? How much of our perceived ignorance is deliberate amnesia imposed by time, catastrophe, and secrecy? By the end, the viewer is left with a sense of both awe and urgency. The spiritual legacy of Atlantis and Lemuria might still be accessible, if only we can learn to read the signs. Chapter 3: Atlantean Technology. Imagine devices that manipulate energy, machines that bend reality. Atlantis is renowned not only for its culture, but also for technological marvels lost to time. According to legend, Atlanteans constructed crystalline energy machines capable of producing power without fuel, devices that controlled weather and seismic activity. Submersible and airborne craft beyond anything we know today. Descriptions suggest these machines were not mechanical in the way we understand, but vibrational, resonating with subtle energy fields. Some artifacts hint at principles resembling quantum physics or zero-point energy, centuries ahead of modern science. The chapter explores the implications. Could Atlantean technology have been functional, not mythical? Did survivors encode this knowledge symbolically, so it could be rediscovered safely? Were the myths of Atlantis' destruction partly a warning against misuse of power? Atlantean ruins, submerged in oceans, still offer tantalizing hints. Some scientists point to anomalous stones and formations with precise geometric alignments as evidence of lost knowledge. Could pyramids and other megalithic structures around the world be remnants of Atlantean engineering principles? Finally, the chapter emphasizes a philosophical hook. Technology without wisdom leads to catastrophe. The fall of Atlantis may have been less about natural disaster than the consequences of knowledge applied without consciousness. Chapter 4: Lemurian Harmony. The greatest power of Lemuria was not machines, it was the mind. While Atlantis excelled in external mastery, Lemuria specialized in internal mastery. The Lemurians achieved deep harmony with nature and their own consciousness. Practices included communicating via telepathy and collective awareness, healing using crystal frequencies, sound, and color vibration, aligning human activity with planetary energy grids. These practices suggest a civilization where humans worked in alignment with universal laws, rather than dominating or exploiting them. Every city, temple, and garden was energetically designed to facilitate learning, growth, and spiritual evolution. The chapter explores legends of Lemurian temples with vibrational architecture, where entering a space could alter perception, enhance memory, or awaken latent abilities. Imagine a building that resonates with your DNA, activating abilities we now call psychic or intuitive. But why did this knowledge disappear? Some suggest global cataclysms, others deliberate concealment. Perhaps Lemuria's wisdom was too fragile to survive the transition into the chaos that followed. Yet echoes of these teachings appear in ancient mythologies, meditation techniques, and esoteric schools worldwide. The tension is psychological. We may be genetically and culturally linked to Lemurian knowledge, but much of it remains dormant, awaiting rediscovery. Chapter 5: Cataclysm and Memory. What destroys civilizations, and what survives in memory? Atlantis and Lemuria both reportedly faced catastrophic events. Sudden sea level rises, volcanic activity, and earthquakes. Magnetic pole shifts. These disasters erased cities, but not entirely the knowledge and wisdom of these cultures. Legends speak of survivors escaping to distant lands, carrying fragments of their science, spirituality, and culture. The chapter explores methods of memory preservation, oral traditions, and encoded myths, symbols in art, architecture, and sacred geometry rituals that pass knowledge without written records. We examine modern theories connecting these lost civilizations to Egyptian mystery schools, ancient Indian Vedic traditions, indigenous wisdom in the Americas, the final hook. Perhaps our own civilization is repeating patterns. Atlantis and Lemuria warn us of the fragility of knowledge without consciousness, of the risks of power applied without wisdom, and of the deep responsibility inherent in understanding hidden truths. By the end, viewers are left with a thrilling sense of mystery and possibility. The knowledge is not entirely lost, it is hidden, waiting for those who seek it with insight and intent. Chapter 6: Hidden Symbols and Living Architecture. What if the greatest library in human history was never burned, only misunderstood? Atlantis and Lemuria may not have left books. They left geometry. Across the world, ancient monuments share a silent language. Precise alignments with solstices, equinoxes, star systems, and planetary grids. Megalithic structures appear in regions separated by oceans, yet built with similar astronomical accuracy and geometric intelligence. Coincidence or inheritance? Sacred geometry was not decorative, it was functional. Ratios embedded in pyramids, temples, and stone circles mirror harmonic principles found in physics, sound resonance, and even human DNA. The same proportions repeat across continents, as if engineered from a shared blueprint. Imagine architecture designed not just for shelter, but for consciousness modulation. Some esoteric traditions suggest Atlantean engineers understood the Earth as a living energy. Matrix, a grid of electromagnetic currents flowing beneath the crust. Structures were placed deliberately on nodal points, amplifying subtle frequencies. Entering such a space would alter your brainwave patterns, induce heightened awareness, or synchronize your body with planetary rhythms. Lemurian architecture, by contrast, was described as crystalline and organic structures, grown or tuned rather than built. Sound was used to shape matter. Vibrational resonance allowed stone to be levitated or softened. If this sounds mythical, consider modern experiments in cymatics, where sound visibly organizes matter into geometric patterns. Ancient knowledge may have applied this principle on a grand scale. Symbols also carry encoded memory. Spirals, serpents, the flower-like patterns repeated in temples worldwide. These may represent energy flow, consciousness, evolution, or dimensional gateways. In mystery traditions, symbols were never literal. They were multi-dimensional keys. Perhaps the ancients understood something we have forgotten. Geometry is not abstract. It is the architecture of reality itself. The unsettling implication: we are living among remnants of a technological spiritual system so advanced that we mistake it for primitive art. The chapter closes with a chilling idea. What if these monuments were not memorials of the past, but dormant machines waiting to be understood? Chapter 7: Survivors and Secret Lineages. When a civilization falls, does its knowledge die or go underground? Legends insist Atlantis did not vanish overnight without preparation. Priests, scientists, and adepts foresaw catastrophe. They preserved fragments of wisdom and scattered across the globe: Egypt, the Andes, the Indus Valley, Mesoamerica. Mystery schools appear suddenly in history, fully formed, advanced in mathematics, astronomy, and metaphysics. Egyptian initiates spoke of a lost homeland in the West. Mesoamerican myths recount ancestors emerging after great floods. Vedic cosmology describes advanced prior ages destroyed by cataclysm. Were these separate myths or distorted memories of a shared origin? Secret lineages often conceal knowledge in plain sight. Initiation rituals encoded cosmological diagrams. Alchemy symbolized energy transformation within the human body. Astrology mapped not superstition, but harmonic cycles between Earth and cosmos. In esoteric tradition, knowledge is dangerous when misunderstood. That may explain its concealment. Only initiates were entrusted with certain principles: energy manipulation, consciousness expansion, dimensional awareness. Even medieval secret societies hinted at older sources. Symbols reappear across centuries, hidden in architecture, manuscripts, and rituals. The question becomes uncomfortable. If knowledge survived, why is it not public? Perhaps because cycles repeat. Atlantis may have fallen from technological arrogance, power without wisdom. Survivors may have vowed never to allow such imbalance again. The final twist of this chapter: what if some modern discoveries are not innovations, but rediscoveries? And what if the lineage never ended? What if I told you the line between ancient myth and modern science is starting to blur? For centuries, tales of lost civilizations like Atlantis and Lemuria were brushed off as pure fantasy. But what happens when the evidence starts to pile up? Underwater structures found off the coasts of several continents make us question everything we thought we knew about ancient sea levels. Geologists are finding signs of incredibly rapid climate shifts deep in our planet's past. And have you seen those ancient stones, cut with a precision we still struggle to explain today? It's like history has a few secrets it's not ready to give up. But it gets even weirder when you look at modern physics. We're talking about energy fields that make up all matter, the possibility of multiple dimensions, and quantum entanglement, where particles are connected across vast distances instantly. Suddenly, those old Atlantean legends of powerful energy crystals and sophisticated power grids don't sound so far-fetched. They sound like echoes of principles we're just now beginning to understand. Even the idea of a catastrophic pole shift, once considered fringe science, is now a serious topic of discussion among geologists studying Earth's magnetic field. Now, Science isn't confirming Atlantis exists, but it's also no longer saying that advanced ancient cultures or sudden global catastrophes are impossible. The door has been cracked open. And then there's the science of consciousness. Researchers are exploring altered states, meditation, and the idea that our awareness isn't just locked inside our skulls. Think about the Lemurian myths of telepathy and vibrational healing. It sounds a lot like what we're now studying with bioelectromagics and frequency medicine. So, are we just watching myth slowly become measurable reality? The biggest question isn't whether Atlantis was real. It's whether our cutting-edge science is simply rediscovering ancient wisdom that our ancestors understood intuitively. If that's true, then we aren't just moving forward into the future. We're completing a circle, reconnecting with a lost part of our own human story. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, be sure to subscribe for more. Chapter 9: Consciousness. The ultimate technology. What if the most advanced device ever created is the human mind? Legends of Atlantis and Lemuria consistently return to one theme. Consciousness was the primary tool. Atlanteans reportedly used focused thought to influence energy systems. Lemurians operated within collective awareness, sensing shifts in planetary fields. Today, research shows meditation alters neural architecture. Intention measurably affects physiological states. Brainwave entrainment changes perception. Ancient teachings may have framed consciousness as programmable, capable of tuning into different dimensions of reality. Astral travel, remote perception, intuitive downloads, once considered mystical exaggerations, now appear in controlled experiments under different terminology. If consciousness interacts with quantum fields, then advanced civilizations may have trained this capacity systematically. Imagine schools teaching children to regulate thought frequency. Imagine cities designed to enhance mental clarity. Imagine leadership chosen not by power, but by vibrational stability. Perhaps Atlantis fell when ego overtook awareness. Perhaps Lemuria dissolved when collective harmony was disrupted. The implication for us is profound. We are not waiting for technology to evolve. We are waiting for consciousness to mature. And if the ancients were correct, the rediscovery of lost knowledge begins internally, not archaeologically. Have you ever wondered about the lost civilizations of Atlantis and Lemuria? Most stories treat them as ancient tragedies, magnificent societies that vanished beneath the waves, never to be seen again. We see them as endings, cautionary tales of hubris and disaster from a forgotten past. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if Atlantis and Lemuria weren't just endings? What if they were warnings? Imagine for a moment that these weren't just isolated events, but part of a much larger cosmic cycle. What if their rise and fall were meant to leave behind a blueprint, a set of instructions for future civilizations like our own? Perhaps their stories are a message, encoded in myths and legends, a guide on how to navigate the very same challenges we face today: technological advancement, social division, and our relationship with the planet. Maybe their return isn't about raising sunken cities from the ocean floor, but about us finally understanding the lesson they left behind. The blueprint is here, waiting to be rediscovered. Let's explore this together. Thanks for watching.